time. So whenever these incidents happen, and if the black box gets damaged, black box is the flight data recorder, which has all the necessary information which gets recorded. And whenever there is a slight damage that happens, it was always, it came to that point, sir, where we were sending the black box outside to the original equipment manufacturer and getting it decoded from that state of manufacture only. And it was for the first time that as a country, India took a stand that the black box which was achieved, even if it was damaged, that the whole decoding process is going to happen in the country, and we have successfully done it in the country also. The AIB has been successful in decoding the entire data which was available, even if the black was from the outer side, if it was looking damaged also. And once the AIB has achieved decoded the data, which was achieved from two different things. One was the flight data recorder, which has the data numbers, and also the cockpit voice recorder, which has the audio, this thing. So all these things, taking out the facts, the investigation processor runs on three principles, which is to find out what happened, how it happened, and why it happened. And preliminary report, it is called the preliminary report because it can't address all the things and all the questions that we have right now. And what we have done, what the AIB has done, in fact, through the preliminary report is to kind of address what happened. Based on the facts it found out in the CVR, based on the facts it found out from the FDR, and only the facts that it was able to determine were mentioned in the preliminary report. And to come out with the suggestions or to come out with the exact cause of what happened, and to come out with the further future action on, it can be the Boeing 787 or the series or the fuel switches and many things which have come under question, or the avionics which you have also mentioned in your question. To have a definitive answer and a definitive future correction measures, we have to look at the final report, sir. And I can say this to the House and through you to the people of this country also, that the AIB has a very definitive, thorough, rule-based process. They are very transparently looking into the process right now, and they are totally unbiased. This also I can say that the AIB is totally unbiased and looking into the facts. Now, there can be many questions also. I have seen multiple articles myself. I have seen multiple articles not only by the Indian media, but also the Western media trying to promote their own narrative, their own viewpoint, their own kind of consideration. But I have to tell you that the way we are seeing the investigation is through the facts. We want to stand by the truth, not what is happening with the pilots, or not what is happening with the Boeing, or not what is happening with the Air India or any other stakeholder which is this. We want to stand by the truth. We want to find out what exactly happened, and that is only going to be coming out once the final report has been placed. So we have to respect the process of investigation, and once that process of investigation has happened, then we can talk about what happened and how it happened, and then the corrective measures. If we talk about the other incidents that would have happened before, let it be the Air Nippon, Japanese Airways, or any other airways for that fact, every time any incident happens in any country, then the same process is followed, where the investigation body gets into the process of investigation, and once the thorough investigation is done and the final report is placed, only then the corrective measures to all these countries and all these airline operators and all the regulators is sent, so that the corrective action is being done. And this has happened in the previous incidences also. Wherever there was any incident happened, whenever there was a mandatory suggestive correction measures that were supposed to be done through the international protocol, it is mandatory for every state regulator to follow these and every airline operator to follow these. And we have thoroughly, without any negligence, we have thoroughly followed all the corrective and suggestive measures from the ICAO international protocol.
Thank you. Second supplementary.
Honorable Chairman, sir, as we are all aware that the DGCA is the cornerstone of aviation safety in our country. But as we know, that in spite of these serious incidents which have taken place in our country, at this Ahmedabad incidents or the earlier whatever accidents have taken place, the DGCA is functioning at 50% of its sanctioned strength, technical strength. It's a very serious issue. I'd like to know from the Honorable Minister whether the government acknowledges this acute shortage in technical personnel within the DGCA, and what urgent and time-bound steps are being taken to fill these critical vacancies so that the regulator is fully equipped to safeguard the lives of lakhs of passengers who rely on air travel every day.
Thank you.
Sir, we all know the kind of progress civil aviation took in the last 10 years, and I have also been time and again talking about the tremendous numbers depicting the growth that we have seen in the country, right? In the number of aircrafts or the passengers that travel through who prefer air travel, or the number of airports. Everything has almost doubled in the last 10 years, or more than doubled in the last 10 years, sir. Even after we see that the COVID, which was a major road break for civil aviation, we have crossed the pre-COVID numbers, and we are seeing a tremendous growth in civil aviation network. And this is why we from the ministry also recommended that we need to create more posts in this DGCA, so that the surveillance or the safety or the security of civil aviation is very much intact with the tremendous robust growth that we are seeing. And this post that we are seeing, which are vacant, which has come to discussion, is the posts which have been created in last year and over the period of last 2 to 3 years. And we have to understand that creation of posts and recruitment of posts is a continuous process. And there is UPSC which is also involved. And we from the ministry are in continuous discussion. And last year itself, we have recruited 103 posts, which in the history of DGCA was the highest number of posts which was recruited. And this year, we have planned to recruit 190, where UPSC also has come forward, and by October, end of October, we are going to recruit 190 posts for this DGCA. And the other thing, which is more practical, that I want to tell the House, is that these are very niche and technical posts. It's not like we have a huge pool. This is a limited pool of subject matter experts, let it be the engineers or the pilots or medical experts, aviation-related experts. This is a very specific pool of people that we are trying to pick up from. And it is a very tough process of picking up the right people, because these are going to be the regulators, these are going to be the inspectors, these are going to take care of the safety. So the recruitment process is also a very rigorous process, and we are doing our, we have taken notice of this thing also, and it has been continuing process, and we are putting more pressure so that the timelines for the recruitment also come down, and very soon we are in the process of achieving 90% of these vacancies also to be recruited.
Thank you. Third supplementary, Manisri R. Girirajan.
Thank you, sir. I would like to know from the Honourable Minister whether the government has formed any high-level committee and formulated any new norms and procedures to be adopted and complied during the safety audits and the routine inspections of each and every flight before the takeoff, and to provide special refresher training to ensure the physical, mental and emotional stability of the pilots are stable and fit to fly after they complete the 1,000 hours of flight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, like I said, after the incident itself, aircraft investigation bureau, they are running the investigative process into finding out how and why the incident happened. And on the other side, overlooking in a holistic approach on the safety measures and what can be done further. Because not only within the country, we are also trying to study other countries across the world where there might be better safety measures in their own countries. So we have also formed a high-level committee under the chairmanship of Home Secretary, and all important people from the aviation are also participating in it. And they are calling people from multiple sectors who are necessary to give more suggestions regarding this. And it is an ongoing process, sir. It was formed right after the incident, and it has got a timeline of 3 months so that they can have multiple meetings within this. And the question which has been put up by the honorable member is also discussed within that committee, and we are all hoping that they come up with some good measures. We already have very robust safety mechanism in the country. We all have to be aware of this process, that it is not that something extravagant or something outside the box is required for the country. We have a very good safety mechanism. Today, if you look at the numbers, today domestically there are 2,909 departures that are happening in the country. 2,909. And internationally, if you look, 624. So overall, the number of departures that are happening every day from the country is 3,500. And around 5 lakh passengers are traveling every day by air. Even today, these are numbers that I've taken from today. So 5 lakh passengers are traveling safely every day. 3,500 flights are taking off every day from the country. So we have a very good process, but we are not stopping there. We want things to be brought down to zero in terms of incidents or anything. That is the process that we have. That is the integrity that we have, and that is the target that we have. So we are being more open now to the suggestions that are coming into our side, and we are looking at the international process also, and some of the countries where they feel, because ICAO, which is the International Civil Aviation Organization, always has a third eye on all the countries which are running operations, which are having these civil aviation networks, because civil aviation is not a thing where it is just within the country. It is not limited within the country. There are airlines from our country which are registered in India going into other countries and picking up and traveling passengers of other countries also. And likewise, other countries, airlines are coming into our country and they are picking up our passengers. So this is a global thing. And all the countries which are having these civil aviation departments or ministries or sectors, they all have to comply with the Civil Aviation Organization, International Civil Aviation Organization protocols. And we have been very committed to maintain those protocols. And we have a very effective score of 85 in the International Civil Aviation Organization safety score. And there are other countries, and you have to imagine the numbers that India has. We have more than 160 airports in the country. And I've given you the number of passengers that are traveling every day. In other countries, you might say that New Zealand or UAE or this thing, how many airports they have? 1, 2, 3? And we are operating at such a vast scale. And that is not like an excuse I'm putting, but that is the kind of growth that we have seen in the country and the kind of growth we are trying to maintain by also having a 100% safe and secure civil aviation network.
Dr. Fauzia Khan.
Sir, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister that a Boeing B7878 aircraft VTANW was involved in an air turnback incident due to in-flight shutdown of engine 1 of flight number AI131 during climb on the 4th of August 23. Sir, from the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport, Mumbai to Heathrow on the 4th of August, this flight was leaving. As per the incident report of DGCA, an HPC stage 10 blade went missing due to improper installation of locking lugs. That made dust accumulate in the left-hand engine, leading to the engine's surge and subsequent engine shutdown. Sir, an RTI...
Be brief.
That's brief only. Sir, an RTI query to the DGCA has revealed that 65 in-flight engine shutdown incidents occurred between 2020 and 2025. So that's quite a large number. In that regard, what specific measures will the government take, as you spoke about such a large number of operations? So, and we have very advanced technology as well. So in order to have a quick before flight inspection of engine and exhaust systems, what measures will the government adopt?
Thank you.
Sir, in terms of safety, I have to also tell that the DGCA has inspections which are planned surveillance, ramp inspections of both the domestic and the foreign sector, spot checks and night surveillance. And this is done through an annual surveillance and safety plan that the DGCA prepares. And based on the regular checking that happens, they have a overlooking safety audit also that is happening all over the country. And they keep monitoring each and every plane. They keep monitoring each and every airport and all the safety measures that are being listed. And everything is very thoroughly monitored. And whenever these kind of incidents happen, let us say there is an in-flight, some engine malfunction that has happened. And these, you have pointed out to one specific aircraft where there seems to be a one specific issue. But there are multiple kinds of issues that can happen. Some may be due to the weather, or some might be due to bird hits that happen. So there are multiple unpredictable and weather-related issues also that are there. Everything is properly taken into account. But for that, to ensure that the operations are still safe, even if it is mid-flight journey or on the ground, any incident that is happening, there is a thorough protocol. And it is not that we have invented the protocol or we have invented the safety process. There is a process that the original equipment manufacturer, suppose the Boeing is making the plane, Boeing itself has to list out what all safety measures that has to be done. And on top of that, the FAA which is the state regulator of that country, it also goes through a process of seeing the design, the maintenance and manufacture. It comes out with the process. Then there is the International Civil Aviation Organization, which overlooks all this, and it comes out with the process. And once that plane is coming back to our country, our state regulator, which is the DGCA, it goes through all these processes, and if mandatory, add some more processes from its side, so that every single flight before it takes off goes through a specific maintenance based on the line maintenance, base maintenance, engine maintenance. Everything is properly checked from the pilot also. Before taking off, pilot also on ground, he goes around the aircraft and checks all the things. Aircraft maintenance engineer also does another checking. After robust checking and properly dotting down what is happening with the aircraft, only then looking at the rules and procedures, if the aircraft is good for taking off at the time, only then it is supposed to be taken off. So all the processes are thoroughly listed, and we, on behalf of the ministry and from the regulator DGCA, we ensure that there is no negligence and there is no incompetence on any of the processes, and everything is very thoroughly monitored. And if anything occurs also, and if there is anything which occurs due to negligence, then we take serious action on both the operator and any necessary person, and we impose penalties, suspensions. All the process of enforcement is also duly listed.
Thank you. Last supplementary on this question. Mani Satnam Singh Sandhu.
सर मेरा सवाल इस हादसे में मारे गए अनलक्की लोगों के लिए है। जो लोग इस हादसे में मारे गए हैं उनकी जान की भरपाई तो नहीं हो सकती, लेकिन फिर भी जो बेस्ट पॉसिबल फैमिली के लिए हो सकता है वो होता है। इस हादसे में मारे गए पैसेंजर्स के लिए तो कॉम्पनसेशन अनाउंस की गई है, लेकिन इसमें मेडिकल छात्र भी मारे गए। एक मेडिकल कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट्स जो अपने हॉस्टल में खाना खा रहे थे, मेरा सवाल उनको लेकर है कि उनके लिए कॉम्पनसेशन हुई है, और क्या उनकी फैमिली जो ट्रॉमा में है उनको कोई साइकोलॉजिकल हेल्प देने की कोशिश की गई है? धन्यवाद।
Thank you.
Sir, first of all, I'd like to, through this house, also offer my condolences to the families of both the passengers of who were traveling in the plane, the crew and the passengers, and also the students, the families of both the students also. And this has been our idea right from the time the incident took place, that we are not going to differentiate between the victims, saying that Acha, these are the people who have traveled in the plane and these are the other ones who have got affected or succumbed to outside injuries outside the plane. And all the support that is being extended to the victims of the families inside the plane, the same assistance is being extended to all the families of the people, students who have died outside also, sir. And the compensation also equally, they have also been taken into account, and they are being provided the compensation.